Alright, we're back. GTA 6's scale makes RDR2 look small. Let's
GTA
get
6
into
makes
it.
RDR2 feel absolutely tiny in comparison, and in this video we will cover the scale of GTA 6 and explore how the behemoth of a map that is in RDR2 will literally fit inside of the general area
Resolution
of
looking
Vice
kinda low.
City. Without further ado, let's get straight into it, shall we? Now, we all know that RDR2 as a game features one of the best open world maps in the entire gaming industry. Its diverse biomes, incredible depth, and overall sense of scale make it feel way bigger than it truly is.
That's what she said.
This has a lot to do
Volumetric
with the
clouds.
fact that we start out in a small restricted space with limited vision and no real reason to actually explore. This tiny trick that Rockstar has been using since the release of GTA 3 is one of the main reasons why their worlds always had that feeling of being bigger than they really are. With RDR2, they basically did the same exact thing, but multiplied it by slowing the game down and incorporating eye candy as well as ear candy that distracts you just enough to get lost inside of this world every time you play. Now, if we hover over the starting area of the map in RDR2 and compare it to the potential starting location of GTA 6, we can see that Amberino itself isn't really that big. Now, if we fly over it, it becomes quite obvious that most of its size comes from the incredible atmosphere that Rockstar created with the snowstorms that fully obstruct your vision,
Yeah, and see that's the thing. It's the fog and the atmospheric aesthetic, if I could put it that way. Because remember when the definitive edition of GTA, the three GTA games released, San Andreas in particular, the clouds were removed because it had like a hella bugs and they had to patch it multiple times and all of that stuff. And it was just like when they removed the clouds, it made the map seem so much smaller. But when you add the fog, the motion blur, it gives a sense of distance. So it's almost like this visual trickery that's, making your mind think it's bigger than what it really is. So this, which is what's going on with this game and everything else.
seem like it's miles away. In one of the GTA 6 screenshots, we can see a similar thing happening with the atmospheric fog covering the outskirts of Vice City. If we find a spot on the mapping project, we can see that the distance from this exact spot to the outskirts of Vice City is somewhere between 3 to 5 kilometers. But if we apply the same principle to the Keys, the trip from Sundown, aka Key West, to the mainland area in the Grass Rivers region close to Hamlet becomes around 8 kilometers. Meaning that if we are to believe that the Keys are the starting location for Jason, the sense of scale will immediately come into play, as it will take a fair bit of driving for us to reach either Vice or any other city that is close by. Now, the biggest advantage RDR2 has when it comes to simulating scale, and one of the main reasons why it feels bigger than GTA 5 for instance, is the traversal speed itself. Now, yes, obviously it's 1899 and
Yeah, because I think what he's about to say is it's 1899 and it's horseback. There aren't any vehicles, so you can't go nearly as fast, so you're slower, which further adds to the perception of the world being bigger than it really is. Although I really do think the world in and of itself is pretty big. But when I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2, I really do feel like it takes a lot of time to get where I need to get. The game feels massive. At no point did the map feel small to me. In fact, it was the opposite. I always thought to myself, man, I want to get from this end of the map to this end. It's gonna take a while, which is good. That's what you want.
Yet, but GTA 6 can learn a lot from this particular approach. Like for instance, don't put this dogshit vehicle in the game, please. GTA San
Press
Andreas,
R2.
for instance, did a similar thing with its own game design.
Oh, I thought that's what he was talking about.
To start out and slowly moving you towards faster and faster traversal options. RDR2 didn't really have this option, but the speed at which you could move was adjusted accordingly via different horses, different horse bonding levels, etc. Also, every time I mention horses, this scene automatically plays inside of my head. Thank you. Now, moving over to the area of Valentine, we can see that the town itself is literally just one big roundabout, and flying over it, we can act.
I need to install this mod so I can become a bird.
Size, it's basically like a block taken directly from GTA 4, for instance. In terms of size, It's tiny. That's what she said. But what it lacks in size, it makes up in heart, as its buildings, NPCs, and the general atmosphere it has create a feeling of scale that really isn't there. This is even more obvious in Strawberry, which pretty much has a similar vibe to Valentine. These two towns, albeit extremely tiny, make the game have this immense sense of scale that even on my 10th playthrough make me go like this. Nice. Now, if we take a moment and fly over the entirety of the RDR2 map, we can see how insanely big it really is. Starting in the Sea of Coronado area,
Exactly.
and flying over the major landmarks on the map all the way to Saint Denis, we can see that even the biggest cities like Blackwater and Saint Denis itself are more...
And there's that fog again. There's that fog creating the illusion. Although I wouldn't even say illusion, but exaggerating or emphasizing the perception of distance. Look, fog makes it seem really far away. But yeah, it really is big on its own, even without the fog. Pause.
Than actual full-fledged cities. But what makes things interesting here is the fact that both of these cities have good NPC density, atmosphere, depth, and city streets that make them feel way bigger than the aerial view actually reveals. Now, what does this actually mean for GTA 6? Well, it means that not only are we going to be getting Saint Denis times 20 in the form of Vice City, but it means that the other areas like the Keys, Port Gellhorn, as well as Watson Bay will each have an immense sense of scale tied to them. If we take a closer look at the postcard of the Visit Leonida promotional screenshot and compare it to Saint Denis, we can see just how tiny Saint Denis actually is. In the screenshot, the cars, pedestrians, as well as boats and planes all look extremely small, making Vice City being so far out
compared to the landmass.
as if it's in another state.
He's got a point.
This only tells us that the area of Key West, aka Sundown, will most likely have an insanely big sense of scale, even if it's realistically around the same size as Saint Denis or slightly larger. Now, what this tells us about the game itself is that Rockstar will be taking the same approach as before, but this time with even more actual scale to work with, which will give them the opportunity to create a map that will not only push the PS5 to its limits, but will give them the option to simulate a real-world Miami in a way that no other game will ever dare to try. Of course, if the Florida Joker doesn't sue them for characterification and postpones the game's release again.
Defecation.
Jokes aside, if we take a closer look at Saint Denis and walk around the city itself a little bit, we can truly see why the city feels as big as it does. The NPCs, the fog, the sound design, as well as narrow streets all add to the feeling of it being a grand modern city of the 19th century. This perfectly complements the small but busy towns of Strawberry, Rhodes, as well as Valentine, giving the player this feeling of progress that Rockstar mastered a long time ago. This approach is obviously going to be a big part of GTA 6 as well, as seen from the trailers, screenshots, and the little bits of story that we know so far. But again, what will separate this game from the previous releases is the actual scale that we will be dealing with here. In one of my last videos, I've already talked a bit about how GTA 6 is almost 3 times bigger than GTA 5. But if we go back to the amazing mapping project done by Giannis and the rest of the mapping community, we can see that,
you know, deep down, part of me hopes it's even more than that. I feel like 4 would be a good 4 times bigger than GTA 5 would be a good size increase, but I'm probably pushing it now. But I would love for it to be at least 3 times bigger than GTA 5's map.
GTA 5's map fit fully into Vice City and its surrounding area, but the city of Los Santos might legit be 1/3 of the actual size of Vice City. For scale comparison, a trip around Vice City will most likely be the same length as the trip from Los Santos International Airport all the way to the Alamo Sea and back. And in this, you have to factor in the many bridges and canals that will be spread across Vice City, giving you an even bigger distance to cross. This, in my opinion, will be the most similar thing to what we had in GTA 4, where the verticality of Liberty City, paired alongside its many bridges that connected its islands with each other, made crossing the map a long but extremely fun road trip, even though the map was only like 16 square kilometers in total. Either way, with the info we have now, paired with Rockstar's genius way of portraying scale, I genuinely believe that we are in for an absolute treat. I mean, hell, RDR2 in scale compares a lot to GTA 5, with the difference being that its atmospheric fog paired with the different biomes and absolute insane road networks make it seem so much bigger than it actually is. And if this is the kind of feeling that we have gotten from games released on consoles like the PS3 and PS4, just imagine what we will experience in a game that is yet to release on a console that is yet to be pushed to its limits. Hell, let's not forget that this game will most likely be any...
Really? Are there any games that don't push the PS5 to its limits? I would think it's horrible optimization. I really do think, yeah, I don't think there's been any games, despite some that may have lowered resolution or frame rate issues. I think that's a game dev issue. I don't think it's the hardware.
Between 150 and 200 square kilometers in size, which, to put in perspective, will be double that of GTA 5 and RDR2. And just saying this out loud makes me get a stiff. Anyways, what do you guys think? Will this game actually trump RDR2 in terms of the sense of scale, or will we end up being disappointed in the same way as many of us will with GTA 5? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and a huge shout out to the 2040 people that ended up subscribing. You folks are the best. Now, if you're not already, please make sure to hit that like button and of course subscribe so that good luck follows you on your future adventures. Stay silly, keep edging, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
You know, one thing I low-key dislike about those comparisons is that they put the GTA 5 map over the supposed GTA 6 map, and part of the GTA 5 map is in the water. Somebody commented that on one of the last videos. I don't think we will be disappointed, we will be amazed. I'm pretty certain of that too. Let me see what else. Guys, watch out for Kobe in GTA 6. I don't know what that... You mean Kobe Bryant? I don't think that's likely. My Series S is not ready for the shit. You're so right. You're so right. Let's see what else. It better you don't have planes or cars in RDR2. Yes, that's affirmative. 3, at least 3. 2 isn't enough to me. To be fair, GTA 5 was built for PS5 and up, as well as Xbox. I think the map would have been more explorable, more options, more stores, and places to go into. If they took like 2 more years and released it on PS4 and Xbox One only, it would have been crazier. I can't even imagine what it would have been looked like on PS5. That's true, because you have to remember, Grand Theft Auto 5 is running on like 2006 hardware. That's what it was designed for. The fact that it even works on hardware that limited is very impressive. So we're like, oh, why didn't they put this in 5? But then we have to also remember that the hardware is extremely limited. It's actually amazing to me that GTA Online even ran on hardware that ancient. And the fact that they were even able to squeeze updates to fit into memory is so impressive to me. But maybe GTA Online like deloads things from story mode. So when you load into online, certain elements of story mode wouldn't need to load in, so maybe that's how they freed up memory. I don't know, I'm speculating. Yes, so that's it. That was my reaction to GTA 6's scale makes RDR2 look small. Hope y'all enjoyed. Comment, like, share, subscribe. My socials are in the description. And with that said, I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.